On today's expose, for reasons, we are talking about Bishop, otherwise known as Lucas Bishop. Bishop is his last name. Mr. Bishop is his father's name. Bishop first appeared in the Uncanny X-Men 282, November of 1991. So in the grand scheme of things, he's only 2 years old when he shows up in the cartoon.
Yeah, he's such a recent person. How crazy.
Yeah. And he's created by Will Portacio and John Byrne. And he's an interesting character because, he basically is if you've heard of the Ouroboros worm, it turns out that he is the cause of his future being shitty. So back to fix it. But, he's in a cycle that he causes his own shitty future.
Oh, my God. How horrible. Yeah. Get with it, Bishop. I know. I remember you have a daughter in X-Men The End, because I covered that comic on Power of the X-Men. That's the episode I did.
Oh, nice.
So we got to talk about his daughter and stuff with this Coolio.
I go where I want to go. Jean.
Scott.
Jean?
Scott! I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds!
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a
Welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Shawn. I'm your ultimate excavationist.
Oh. And I'm something of an X-fan myself. Kevin.
So, sexy Xies, fair warning. Kevin is shit-faced right now. He's drunk.
Only a tad. I've had some tequila shot thingy that they gave me on top of my margarita that I ordered. That was delicious. A house margarita with sugar, whatever, So it's fine.
This might have to be a thing. We might have to do drunken X history.
Drunken X-history. Yeah. I love it.
So Kevin and I got an interesting message today. I'm not going to say from who, but they are a friend of the pod. They are a friend of multiple pods. They are someone all the pods. They've been around for a long time. They've been a very loyal listener. We appreciate this person, and this person very much appreciates us because they had a sex dream, not only involving a three-way between me, them, and Kevin, but a three-way with me dressed as Iceman, Kevin dressed as Cyclops, and this person was Jean Greying all about.
And I was the top, so typecast. But
and you were taking pictures apparently as the top.
I like to document. I need stuff for the OnlyFans. Don't you know?
Exactly. I love this dream. Oh, and by the way, sorry. I want to correct myself. It wasn't described as a dream. This is how much I love this person. They said that it was a premonition.
Yes. I had a premonition. So it combined our Charmed and X-Men podcasts together and a beautiful synchronicity.
Well, not only that, because a dream is just I dreamt that this could happen, but a premonition is, I saw that this thing will be happening in the future.
This is Sexofuchsia Past.
Yeah. So I know you're listening. I know that you know who you are, and we love you so much. We appreciate you. I love this dream. I love that you paid attention enough to put Kevin and I as our favorite characters. This is all around just excellent.
Excellent.
All right. So on our previously on segment, we had an impasse, Kevin.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you had Rogue's powers, would you want to be cured? What were your thoughts on this?
I voted, and I actually voted yes.
Tell me why.
Yes, I will tell you why. Because I'm a very sexual person, and I'm going to have sex with people. So I was like, does Rogue ever have sex? Can she have sex? Like, that's a sad thing to like. I get, you can't touch people's, but maybe the condom protects you. Maybe, but you still have to wear gloves and stuff. You have to like put your maybe. Oh, you know what you can do? You can wear a spandex suit, full body suit with a zipper crotch. Then put the condom on. Then you'll be okay. There you go.
See, and what you just described is why I said no, I wouldn't want to be cured. Because I think, like, yeah, condoms aren't like as fun, but like there's ways around it. And yeah, you can't make skin to skin, but like you can still feel them through like the gloves and stuff, like you said, or the suit. So I would say no, and I would trust in the fact that like eventually I'll probably find a way. I just need to focus on like how can I get around this.
Yeah, because I'm I'm usually one for like powers and stuff because I love me the power, but I was just like, oh, do I want powers or sex more? So I'm a naughty little boy. It's fine, whatever.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's get into our episode. So we're talking Days of Future Past, episodes 1 and 2. This aired the first one aired March 13th, 1993. And as Paul from Power of X-Men said last week, it was actually written by Julia Lewald, who is married to Eric Lewald, who together are the big architects of this show. So this is a pretty heavy hitter as a writer, and we'll see Julia pop up a few other times within this series.
Oh, yeah.
I think Kevin's about to pop up from the way it sounds.
Oh, my God. I've been horny all weekend. I mean, stop. I'm not supposed to talk about this. This is not supposed to be a sexy episode. This is not a sexy X's, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I guess it's always going to be sexy when I'm here.
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay.
So this was one of the first episodes that was directly based on the comics. Like we talked a lot about The Cure being loosely based on how Archangel changes, but this actually like took the Days of Future Past comics and actually adapted it directly for the show, with like some pretty big changes because like Shadowcat was the main player in Days of Future Past, and she's not in this series, but we'll talk about that more as we go. But it adapts Uncanny X-Men 141 and 142, written January and February of 1981 by Chris Claremont and John Byrne.
Okay.
Statue of Liberty be looking pretty sad as we pan over the future New York City 2055. 2 unnamed mutants are being hunted by sentinels. The male mutant turns his arms into metal and takes down the sentinel. Another sentinel is about to take them out when we hear a familiar growl. It's Wolverine. Tracker Bishop shows up next and captures the muties, Wolvie and all. Scratch 3 rebels.
Yeah. So this guy, he's like middle army, and he runs and he takes out the laggards.
Yeah, like when I was young, I always liked to imagine that this is the son of Colossus.
Oh, so he's just made up for the show?
He was completely made up, and actually, it's funny. Another fellow X podcast with people X Reads podcast. I heard them talking to Eric and Julia about this. They actually asked them, were these 2 mutants like based on anything? And they said no, they were completely original. And on X Reads, Eric and Julia came up with names for these 2 mutants.
Oh.
Their names are Eric and Julia.
I love that.
So it's not canon, but it's straight from the horse's mouth, if you will. I just called Julia a horse. She's a very lovely person.
She's a very nice prince. Okay, anyway. Here we go. That's good, though. And Wolverine's like all old. Is that normal? Is he supposed to age?
He ages, but yeah, that's always been like a bone of contention for me because this is supposed to be, I believe, 33 years in the future. So, like, he wouldn't have aged that much.
He like ages slower. That's his thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like, I can't take them out as fast as I used to. Okay, scene 2. Wolverine wakes up to find himself enmeshed. That word is like the one that we has heard in the Charmed podcast.
That's why I added it for you because you enjoyed it so much.
Yes. Enmeshed in Bishop's electric net. Oh, yeah, because they're on the vehicle. Bishop calls him Sleeping Beauty. Aurora, but not Aurora Monroe. Aurora Briar Rose, Sleeping Beauty. Wolverine tells Bishop he looks familiar. Coincidence? Foreshadowing? Foreshadowing? Bishop declares that he's taking Wolverine to an internment camp. Wolverine says the Sentinels want all mutants dead. Bishop says, just the rebels. I'm safe because I work for them. I got a key card and everything. They're going to pay me the monies. As if on cue, the Sentinels also take Bishop captive. Oh, womp womp. We get a shot of all the graves of the X-Men. And you know what? I was like, oh, these poor graves, they can't even put their real names on them.
That's a good point.
I'm like, wow, you weren't worth that. Okay. Suddenly, the Sentinel is attacked, and Wolverine calls the mutants to action. Together, they take out the Sentinel. Their victory is short-lived as Nimrod shows up, the Super Sentinel. Julia reminds Wolverine of the mission and tells him to run. Wolverine bounces while the others fight on.
Okay, Kevin, so I'm making a deal with you. I still have my liquid marijuana. I'm going to start drinking this as we record so I can get in that space with you.
I never drink. This is bizarro for me, but it's fine.
But yeah, so there's a lot going on here. So first off, I wanted to point out the music. The music is very, like, we've said this before, Eric is very much a Western fan, and that's kind of the music that we're getting, this dystopian Western future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, like, I just wanted to use this as an example of the attention of detail, but Julia talks about in Eric's book how she wanted Wolverine to kind of talk down to Bishop since he's like Wolverine's older. So she had him calling Wolverine Sunshine. But then after she did some research, she found out that in the early 1900s, shine or sunshine was a derogatory term towards Black people. So upon seeing that, she immediately was like, shit, I can't use this. So instead of saying sunshine, and it was supposed to be more so like because Bishop is always so dour, like it's supposed to be like commenting on that. So she changed it to rookie because she figured, you know, with Wolverine being older, he would talk down to Bishop as if he were a rookie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love that. Like that's the detail that they were looking at for the show to make sure that like everybody feels included, everybody's represented. So I think that's why the show is as strong as it is.
True.
So I think besides Shadowcat not being in this, one of our biggest differences is Nimrod. Nimrod was not in Days of Future Past. He did not come out in the comics until March 1985 in a continuation of Days of Future Past. But they wanted to have that cool futuristic villain who's after the X-Men.
Yes, like the Terminator. It's totally like Terminator.
Yeah, because Terminator 2 came out in 1991, so this is probably, and Eric kind of talked about this at WonderCon, like, yeah, they were inspired by Terminator.
That's what it be.
The other thing I noticed in this scene is there's a shot of the Sentinel shooting Wolverine, and it's kind of fun because that's the cover of X-Men 142, Wolverine arched back getting shot by a Sentinel.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Amazing. This is crazy.
Did you like this scene, Kevin?
I did. This was like, intense-eroni, like action-packed.
Intense-eroni? Is that like pastaroni?
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of people really like this. This made its mark on people. Everybody remembers, that future scene from Days of Future Past. So very well done.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, Bishop, why you gotta be so dumb? Why can't you protect your peoples? But sure.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a lesson for all of us. Like, if somebody's oppressing your people, don't join them. They're never going to be good for you.
Right.
All right. Back at Forge's compound, Wolverine shows up with Bishop. Bishop is shocked to see that they have a time machine. Forge gives Wolverine a temporal transceiver. I kept having to go back and be like, what was that thing called again? Transponder, transistor. Which will lock him in one time until it is removed. Once removed, Wolverine will return to his timeline. Bishop be confused. Forge explains that if they go back to the 90s and stop the assassination, then it will fix their timeline. Bishop floods his basement, and Forge tells him to calm down. It's only a theory, Bishop. Wolverine is about to go back when the alarms sound. Sentinels! Bishop says Wolverine is too lame and old to go back, so he goes instead as Sentinels! Attack. Wolverine says, I'm gonna remember this, rookie. Bishop makes it out just in time. And this is our 90s moment. I know it's kind of a stretch because this took place in the 90s, but they're going back to the 90s.
Back to the 90s.
Don't have a cow, man.
You got mail. 90s moments.
Back to the 90s.
Oh, I was thinking of Back to the 80s by Aqua when you said that. I got excited.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to say, hey there, Mr. T.
I love that song.
I know. I wanted to say Back to the 80s. I'm like, I can't say that, but I want to.
Sexy Xy's, I have to tell you, when Kevin and I were getting to know each other, we both were like, I really like Aqua. And then one of us was like, oh, but do you know about the third CD? And the other one was like, duh, of course I know about the third CD. And the other was like, do you know about her solo album? And we're like, duh, of course I know about the solo album.
It's your duty to shake your booty.
I love that song. That's my favorite.
It's so good. It's so good. And today I played Aqua for the people I'm staying with. I played them Sucker for a Superstar because I love that song. She don't care who the Beatles are. So yeah, Aqua.
Aqua.
Which is a 90s moment because it's Aqua.
Don't have a cow, man.
You got mail. 90s moments.
Nice. I was also wondering, like, Wolverine has this big old gun. Like, why the hell does Wolverine need a gun? He's got claws and he's got a healing factor.
He just wants to feel cool.
Would you like a history lesson, Kevin?
Okay.
So for me, I didn't grow up on the Bible, so I'm sorry for those of you who did, who may already know this, but For me, I always thought Nimrod was like a derogatory thing, like especially because Green Day has a song called Nimrod. Like, hey Nimrod, what are you doing?
Exactly. That's what the bullies say to the nerds. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was always confused, like, why is his name Nimrod? Is it supposed to be like ironic or because he's a mindless machine just killing people? But no, it connects to the Bible, Kevin.
That's what?
So Nimrod was a great grandson of Noah. He is described as a mighty hunter before the Lord and began to be mighty in the earth. He is said to be the one who commissioned the Tower of Babel, which makes him a king who is rebellious against God.
Oh, weird. So if people call me Nimrod, I'd be like, yep, you know it.
I am rebellious against God. Thank you for noticing.
Right, exactly.
So I do like this interpretation, though, because in my mind, like, if it's kind of like, you know, queer people, if everybody is made in the image of God, so then mutants aren't bad, but he's rebelling against God's design by taking it upon himself, saying mutants are bad and hunting them.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh. Was that too much for you in the state?
I was just reminded of Callisto.
Callisto. My revenge is to make you beautiful.
So yeah, but good. Bishop is spit out into the 90s. Alright, because I'm sick of the bill. Things still look pretty shitty, and he thinks he's in the wrong place. He sees, I see children. in another 90s reference, in the street, and is convinced he must have gone back. Children don't play in the street in the daytime. He sees a newspaper and remembers he needs to find Xavier. Oh, right, it's that guy.
So I had a thought right here because he picks up the newspaper and he says the month and day, but he never says the year.
Yeah, he's like 19. Oh, yeah. 19, gasp. Like, okay.
I wonder if that's because when they were making this, they didn't know if and when it was going to air.
Maybe, yeah. Or they did like, we don't want to date this too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
back at the prison. Oh, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, he's like, I don't remember the month he said, but dada, 19, gasp. Like, I don't know.
Gasp. Back at the prison, Rogue and Gambit are visiting Beast. They give him a book, You Can't Go Home Again, by Thomas Wolfe. Nice one, Rogue.
Rude. What a shady book. Right?
What a
She's
bitch.
Like, this was the dustiest one we found in the library. Here you go. You probably read it before, but it's so appropriate now.
Gambit is uncomfortable behind bars. Beast reminds him that a prison is what you make it. Beast lets Gambit out as Rogue stays to chat. I do like that Rogue and Gambit like went together. That's such like a couples thing, in my opinion.
It really is. It's like, yeah, we're on a mission. We're hanging out. Let's go see our friend. Yeah.
Yeah. And then put on a latex suit and fuck later.
Yes.
So I don't know if you noticed this. I thought it was so funny, but when Rogue gives Beast the book, she's like, I like the cover and I wanted to get it for you. And they show the cover and it's like gray and has like stupid looking letters on it. I'm like, what about that cover do you like?
It's like, I just drew the title on with pencil. Here you go. I wrote this whole book in pencil.
Yeah.
Back at a random dilapidated building, Bishop watches the X-Men on his temporal transceiver. Bishop is trying to remember why he's there when two kids run by with the game Assassin. Punisher is on there. I remember. Like, let's go play assassin. Let's go play assassin. And yeah, I'm like, what a weird game these kids have.
Right?
Like, can you imagine they just go around and like go all 007 spy and then shoot people and like, I'm the Punisher. Anyway, Bishop remembers there is an assassin with the X-Men and he needs to stop them. Bishop gets on a okay. Bishop gets on a bus and farts. Everyone runs away screaming. He jankily drives the bus to the mansion. I was going to say, though, because this lady gets on first. She's like, here's my money. Here's my quarter. And then he goes on and is like, I don't got no money. Give me the bus. He didn't even pay.
Right.
I would be so mad if I was that lady because I'm like, I just paid.
That's true. He robbed her of a quarter by going in right after her. What a jerk.
I know. I could have used that for my laundry.
I love how how hard you laughed at the fart thing because I was giggling when I was writing it.
Yeah. We're such children.
We are. Back at the manor, Jubilee is monitoring the security cams when she sees an unscheduled bus coming in. She calls for help. The bus narrowly misses hitting Cyclops and Storm. Bishop immediately attacks them. Jubilee comes to the rescue. Then Wolverine saves them. Wolverine says, I'm going to remember this, rookie. And Bishop remembers him. Enter Professor X. He calls everyone to the war room so they can scan Bishop and Cerebro, or with Cerebro. I think the marijuana drink is taking effect.
Love it.
Drunk X history.
Oh my God, yes. In the war room, Jubilee plays the arm thingy. Cyclops plays with Bishop's gun. Oh, is that a gun in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me?
It's a gun.
Okay. Jean examines the gun's info and she's thankful it was set to stud. It was a good thing because these pack a punch. It's a pretty lethal gun. Professor X scans Bishop's mind and sees the fuchsia. He projects it to the screens for everyone to see. Wolverine is happy he doesn't lose his hair. Cyclops doubts Bishop, but Xavier and Jubilee believe him. An alarm sounds, and Bishop announces someone else has come back from the fuchsia. Xavier tells the X-Men to free Bishop and help him. Wolverine ain't happy, bub.
And here we get Cyclops being all whiny again. How are we supposed to believe him?
Yeah, I can't really condone his actions in this one.
I know, you had an explanation last week. This week it's inexcusable.
Yeah. But, you can't always trust the fuchsia traveler, especially if he's going to be, turning in mutants before his change of heart. Plus he has no memory. He's like, I'm here to do something and I don't remember. Oh, I'm just making it up as I go. So maybe he does have a point. There you go, Cyclops. His whininess is justified.
Yeah, it's justified, I guess.
But yeah, it was a little whiny, so whatever.
And jump to the scene of where the portal opened. The X-Men investigate. There's a glowing door where the person or thing came through. The X-Men are suddenly attacked from behind by Nimrod. Bishop explains that Nimrod is a new sentinel from the fuchsia. Nimrod shoots Jean and she goes flying like one of them Hollowell girls. I knew you'd like that.
I love it.
The storm fills the sky with rocks of ice and freezes Nimrod. Nimrod falls to pieces. A temporary reprieve as Nimrod mends himself. Bishop takes out his temporal transfer and sends him back to the fuchsia. Storm is now convinced.
Yes. I summon the Arctic winds.
Hey, that's like in our opening song.
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants.
Yeah, I loved it. All right. Scene 10. Wolverine draws out his sentence for the longest time possibly as he starts it at the site where they fought Nimrod and finishes it in the war room. He wants to know who the assassin is. Bishop can't remember shit. Cyclops is sure it can't be Jean. She reminds Scott that yes, it could be me. It could be any of us. I've had my dark days too. Or doesn't he remember? So, what is she referring to? Because the Phoenix hasn't happened yet, right?
Yeah, okay, so I have this as my note. What are Jean's dark days? I'm fairly certain they were referring to the Phoenix, not expecting to get to do that story later.
Oh.
Or are they referring to her tricking Rogue in Come the Apocalypse, which is further proof that she's the mastermind?
Yeah. Just like Hammy was saying, it's like, oh, Rogue, I need protection. Oh, I'm falling.
Oh, I'm falling. Only you, with your powers, can save me.
Yeah. So there we go. That's more justified. Because if they're referring to the Dark Phoenix, I was very confused. I'm like, that happens later.
Because canonically, Dark Phoenix would have already happened, but yeah, they did it later after they got renewed.
Sure. Well, isn't that neat? Mm-hmm. Until Gambit walks in. We had a tangent. Bishop is sure the traitor is him. He's like, you! I recognize you as the assassin! I will shoot you, Gambit, forever and more. Blah, blah, blah.
So, one of the things that was mentioned when they were developing this episode, so if you remember, Bishop came out in 1991, and for some reason there's this mystery that Bishop hated Gambit. So by the time they were making this episode, it really wasn't resolved yet. So they decided to play off of that and give us an answer in the show. So the show kind of takes its own path here and gives us that answer, whereas the comics took another path. I'll let you tell me which one you think is better.
What happened in the comics?
So in the comics, in April of 92, there was a character introduced as part of Bishop's timeline called the Witness. And he looked very similar to an old man Gambit. And he was kind of like a mentor to Bishop. And one day he betrayed Bishop. And Bishop is under the assumption that the Witness is Gambit for some reason, because the Witness goes by LeBeau.
Calcuans de dance.
But what's really weird is the Witness turns up not to be Gambit. So I don't know, like, if he was inspired by Gambit or maybe he's an ancestor of Gambit. But
he's like Gambit's number one fan.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. We're seeing like the show kind of filling in their own blanks, and we're seeing how much they do draw from the comics.
Yeah. Interessant. Yes. To the max.
So that's the end of episode 1.
Yes, a cliffhanger.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta look up a character.
Yeah, tell us about our next expose. Oh.
So Mystique is our expose. Yes. Her real name is Raven Darkholm. Such a gothy name. Like, Quote the Raven, nevermore. That's what I'm feeling over here. Her first appearance was Ms. Marvel number 16 in May 1978 as a cameo, and then a full appearance in Ms. Marvel number 18, July 1978. And she's a shapeshifter, is what they call her in this episode all the time, the shapeshifter. Yes. But she's got guns sometimes. She's got fighting skills sometimes. She's got stuffs. She's like a spy. She's like Black Widow who can change shapes. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's blue. She's got blue skin and red hair and yellow eyes when she's in her natural form, her au natural. And she doesn't usually go naked like the movies.
Yeah, one thing that's been discussed ad nauseum that Paul kind of touched on last week is since we know that she can change her clothes are actually like her skin, which is kind of gross to think about.
I know. Too funny.
But one thing that's really interesting about Mystique that has come up in the past 10 years is she is very old, much like Wolverine, and they've crossed paths like throughout time. And the reason they say that is since she is a shapeshifter, she can constantly like reshape her organs and like make them young, or like if she's stabbed per se, she can kind of like move her organs around so that way, it's not as lethal. And she eventually can start to like shift like wings onto her, or like different protrusions, so her power is continuously like unfolding. She's very interesting.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
What does it sound like when she transforms? Like when she moves her organs, like I don't know. That would be gross.
That would be gross.
Things that I didn't think I'd think about before until now.
So viewers had to wait a whole week until March 20th, 1993 to see if Gambit was shot.
Yeah. Ooh.
And this was written by Robert N. Skur and Marty Eisenberg.
Okay. I read, huh?
Yes, doll.
Okay. We start part 2, slightly before part 1 ended. Yes, because we see a little precursor. Rogue is driving recklessly down the side of the mountain. He's like, Gambit's there with her. He's like, who taught you to drive? She's like, oh, my southern brothers. Anyway, Gambit, no liking her driving. They get back to the manor and Rogue gets annoyed with Gambit and flies away, leaving him to park the car. She's like, stop hitting on me.
Right? And he wrote down one of his lines just to like show how pervy it is. Sure, I'd teach you plenty of things if you ask me nice.
Yeah. She's like, oh! Let me fly away from you, you creeper.
All right. Rogue flies through the halls of the Skule and hears the end of the conversation from episode 1. She is introduced to Bishop as Gambit enters the room behind her. Bishop fires on Gambit, but Rogue flies in the way. Bishop hits her and then hits Gambit anyway. I guess shoots her and shoots Gambit anyway. Mm-hmm. The gun seems pretty weak because they both just stand back up right after. Xavier tells Rogbit that Bishop is from the future. Gambit declares himself the Queen of France. Bishop and Gambit prepare to fight when Wolverine and Cyclops subdue him. It only takes Jubilee to hold Gambit back.
I like that Rogbit thing. That's lovely.
I couldn't find a good way because the other way was Gamgoo. Gamgo.
Yeah. Gamgi. Samwise Gamgi.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good though. I like it. So Jubilee is there.
Mm-hmm.
Being the one. Is it scene 3?
Scene 3.
Okay. With his full memories back, Bishop describes the bleak future. Gambit will assassinate someone, which will set forth a chain reaction. Oh, that's it. Period. Humans will fear mutants more, and in turn build sentinels to hunt them and throw them in detention camps. Once in the camps, the mutants are killed, murdered, assassinated. Eventually, the sentinels decide to take over all humanity. Even the hobo dressed as the president. and she sits there and she just cries. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! My fellow Americans won't survive.
Hopefully, she's in that yellow tracksuit.
Yeah.
We have a cameo. I should just make a sound effect for cameo because we use cameo every single week, it seems like.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
There's I noticed Havoc right away. I was like, oh, brothers together.
Mm-hmm. I know, that was cute. And we still don't find out they're brothers for so long.
When do we find out in this series?
We do eventually.
Okay, because I don't remember this series much at all. It's crazy. It's like all brand new to me.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, because it's like it's been forever. So I'm like, I get vague, like, oh, I kind of remember this, but I don't know what's coming necessarily. I don't always remember what happened. So it's kind of like I'm watching it for the first time, much like you and Charmed.
Then I'm going to treat you like the ultimate X-Men newbie, and I'm going to ask you things.
Okay.
This is fun. I'm hard.
Oh, me too. I've been hard all week.
So yes, you noticed Havoc. We also get. Did you recognize the Japanese guy in the red and white?
Yes, from the whatever that place was, Genosha. Yeah.
Yes, that was Sunfire from Genosha.
Yes.
And then we had the Morlocks.
Yes, all coming out from the ground and walking in a straight line like there's, yeah.
And then we had Oogie Boogie.
What? Well.
What have we here? You're joking. No, one of the Morlocks just looks so much like Oogie Boogie. I was like, I don't know who that is, but that's straight up Oogie Boogie.
I missed that one. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we talked about it a little bit already, but I have a note here that Terminator 2 had just come out, and like, especially this like aspect of the future with the Sentinels taking over, it's very Terminator with the robots rising up and taking over.
Yeah. Because we got that, and we got the crazy Nimrod with his like, I'm super powerful. I can't die. I can recollect myself. You know. Ooh.
And apparently he has an accent.
Whatever that was.
Yeah. Bishop finishes telling his fairy tale. Xavier asks if stopping the that's the first time I get to say it, assassination will stop the future. The fuchsia. Bishop says he doesn't know, but he was sent here to try. The only thing is, he doesn't remember who gets assassinated. Cyclops figures probably the president. Storm is really helpful and says it could be anyone. Xavier thinks it could be him. The Queen of France speaks out against Bishop. He still doesn't believe the story. Storm tries to calm Gambit, but he leaves.
Oh, do you want to kill a president?
I don't know why, but I just really like that he called himself the Queen of France.
It was so random.
Like, out of all things.
Like, what?
What?
Do you even know who the Queen of France is?
Is there a Queen of France?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Marie Antoinette was once the Queen of France.
Oh,
so
yes.
Queen of
Oh, my
France.
gosh. Oh, my gosh. Did you see the Animaniacs episode with her? Crack me up. Anyway,
No.
it's in the Hulu series, the new season 1 of the reboot of Animaniacs. But there's a funny episode with Marie Antoinette where the Animaniacs bother her, and she's like so full of herself. And she's like, oh, I have all my cakes. I'm super rich. What are you doing?
I didn't finish watching that, and then I forgot it was out.
Yeah.
I thought, like, it was an interesting nod, even though it wasn't a nod yet. But the fact that Xavier's like, it could be me that gets assassinated. Like, that's basically Age of Apocalypse. He gets assassinated and the future turns to shit. So I just think that's funny that seed, yeah. I wonder if that seed was planted at that moment.
Hope it grow.
Yeah, and interesting fact for you, but we'll talk about it more. I'm not going to tell you too much now, but the X-Men animated series actually, one of the episodes is actually what inspired Age of Apocalypse.
Wow.
So I'll tell you what episodes that is when we get there.
Okay. Oh.
And I also liked right here that Storm once again stands up for Gambit and says, I know you better than anyone. So I'm like, this is such attention to detail from what we talked about from them being buddies in the comics, but they also continue the thread through the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they know what they're doing. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Scene 5. Gambit is leaving the mansion when Bishop catches up with him. He wants to start a fight again. Enter Wolverine. He asks where Gambit is going. Gambit says he's going to Washington. No, that's not what I'm doing. Okay. He's going to Washington to stop the traitor. Looks a little sus, because that's where you kill the person. But okay. Enter the other X-Men. They tell Gambit and Bishop to stay behind while they check out Washington. What a clever little plan. Keep your suspect out of the way.
Yes.
Wolverine offers to stay behind and babysit. Yeah. The other X-Men leave in the Blackbird.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Gambit, Wolverine, and Bishop are playing intense poker. Wolverine loses his hand and has to strip off his shirt. Oh, sorry. Gambit attacks Bishop, who absorbs the energy and throws it back. Wolverine pops his claws and tells him to settle down.
Yeah, he's like, didn't you know? That's my power. I can absorb your energy and return it to you. I had a hair in my mouth just there. It was my mustachio hair. But anyway.
I had you on video.
I mean, yeah. It's double the pleasure, double the fun when you have video.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's it. Did I finish it? I don't remember.
I finished it. You're on scene 7.
Oh, okay. Anyway, in Washington, the X-Men prepare for battle. In the distance, Blob looks like the sunrise. Pyro and Avalanche are there with him. They are getting ready for a mission. A mysterious woman with a familiar voice tells them they better not fail. Whoever could this be?
Who could it be? It's such a mystery.
Mystery.
Oh, great. Now everybody knows who it is.
I just said mystery. That doesn't say anything. It's the new word of the day. I make up words all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gambit watches Senator Kelly deliver a speech on 1 million arcade screens. They look like arcade games.
They do.
Gambit plants an explosive card and escapes as the card splodey. Wolverine and Bishop follow him, but it's no use. Gambit takes off in a jet. Bishop blames Wolverine for everything, but Wolverine is still not convinced that he's from the fuchsia.
Yeah. So, 9? No, 9. Okay. 9 inches.
How do you know I'm just not telling you no in German?
Oh, 9.
9. Oh, that's how
I
you
say
know.
9.
9.
In the jet, Gambit watches a broadcast of Kelly's speech. Not safe, Gambit.
That's all. That's all that happens.
That's all. That be it.
In Washington, an anti-mutant mob has formed around the Capitol. Pyro, Blob, and Avalanche stand around in very clever disguises. Here, put this coat on. They'll never know. They pretend to be part of the mob. Inside the building, Jean and Scott watch as Senator Kelly grills Xavier on his school being pro-mutant. As Pyro and Avalanche attack, Miss Raven, Darkholm says, right on time. Jean and Scott jump into action to save the civilians. Professor X telepathically calls out to the other X-Men to come to the Capitol. Rogue tucks in Sleeping Jubilee and leaves her under a tree.
That was so weird.
Yeah, it was very odd.
She's like, come on, Jubilee. Oh, you're asleep. Okay, bye. but I did love Scott and Jean because they were ready for business. They're like, ooh, I'm going to take off my shirt. I'm going to put on my glasses. I'm going to run over there. They were ready to go. I was like, yes, give me the knife.
Yes, they were very ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know who wasn't ready?
Who?
What was up with Avalanche's voice? He sounded so doopy.
You know who he sounded like? Bigfoot is my daddy, and he comes to protect me. It's you, JB. You're my little baby sass. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, he sounds like, let's go get him. Weird. So dumb it sounded.
So the scene was a missed opportunity to me because Professor X in the comics always telepathically says, to me, my X-Men. So the fact that he says, X-Men, get to the Capitol, I'm like, lame. He should have said, to me, my X-Men.
Yeah. You know, you need to know your catchphrases.
Reals.
Yeah. 11.
Mm-hmm.
Cyclops and Jean push their way through the crowd as Gambit arrives and sneaks into the building. Jubilee is woken up by the X-Men fighting. Rogue punches Blob. Oh, this is so gross. Oh. And gets stuck. It's like punch, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. I like attach my skin to your hand and suck you in. Anyway, Pyro, Blob, and Avalanche engage the X-Men. Cyclops blasts the Blob as Wolverine binds him and throws him in water. Storm free. Oh, here it is. Yeah. I summon the Arctic winds. Storm freezes the water. Trapping Blob. Storm was all about her ice powers for these episodes.
Yeah.
Cyclops is worried that Wolverine is here. Where's Gambit? Bishop absorbs Avalanche's pews and shoots it back. Jean can barely hold up a fallen building. Bishop shoots. Oh, no. Jean can barely hold up a fallen building that Bishop shoots. Rogue catches it, saving lots of people. Or that's just this one little girl because all the other people ran away and left her.
Yeah, rude.
She's like, oh, I'm a little girl. I'm going to be squished. I can't run.
You sounded so much like a little girl. I was afraid that a little girl took over this podcast from you.
I am your daughter. Yeah. I'm done.
Okay. So, some cool things in this scene, like Rogue flies high enough to extinguish the flaming bird. Blob says he's gonna sit on the X-Men. And Jubilee pews Blob and he burps. So gross.
This was a scene.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode, but it's funny because the scene is so like action and cool, but at the same time like silly and like British comedy.
Yeah.
Rogue sees Bishop and follows him at Scott's order. He runs into a room and Rogue flies by. Meanwhile, Raven Darkholme leads Kelly into a room with a tied-up Raven Darkholme. She shifts into Gambit and takes the blindfold off the tied-up Raven. Gambit is about to kill Kelly for going up against mutants when Gambit enters and saves Kelly from Gambit. The Gambits fight as Shawn imagines being in the middle of a Gambit sandwich. Enter Bishop. He shoots at Gambit. The Gambits finger each other.
Oh.
As imposters.
It's the whole Spider-Man thing. You.
The meme that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Bishop decides to shoot both Gambits at full force. Rogue comes in and pulls off Bishop's temporal trunk, sending him back to the fuchsia.
Yes.
So now that we know this is Mystique, so Mystique actually started a new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants after Magneto kind of stopped his. So on her team in the comics, it was Blob, Pyro, Destiny, and Rogue.
And Avalanche. You forgot Avalanche.
I thought I said him.
I only heard Blob and Pyro. And then Destiny.
Well, it'll come out in the edit. So on her team in the comics, it was Blob, Pyro, Destiny, and Rogue.
But yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so at this point, Chris Claremont, before doing X-Men, he had done Miss Marvel, which was when Carol was still Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel yet. But in Miss Marvel, he had Mystique, Rogue as villains. So when he came over to X-Men, he brought them over to X-Men as villains. And then it wasn't until the late 80s that Rogue actually realized how bad Mystique was and defected to the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to see, like, Chris Claremont basically brought all of our favorite X-Men over from other things. Like, Betsy Braddock Psylocke was just, like, a secondary character in Captain Britain.
How funny.
Yeah.
Raven Darkholme shifts into Mystique. Shift into Turbo. Rogue instantly recognizes her from Muir Island. She's like, you? What? Why? Mystique is sure that Rogue won't hurt her, and she's like, why wouldn't I hurt you? And she's like, well, maybe you, because you know me more as this person. And Mystique shifts into Rogue's adoptive mother and starts speaking in a janky voice.
What was that voice? Come on.
It was, yeah. She was taking lessons from Mrs. President over here.
You probably had it right the first time.
Yeah.
Wolverine and Cyclops are tracking their teammates through the hall. Wolverine picks up on a scent. He smells something oily? Senator Kelly comes out and bumps into them. The Senator and the real Raven describe the confusing scene of two Gambits fighting. Exasperated, they give up and just point over there. They enter the room.
Look over there!
Look over there! They enter the room to find Gambit taking a nap, but the room is otherwise empty. So this whole thing in the comics, there wasn't like Mystique wasn't impersonating herself. She had planted herself within like the presidential office as intern Raven
Wow.
Darkholme.
Oh, how risky you even using her real name.
I know, que risque.
That is crazy. So they could just looked at some mutant footage and be like, "Oh, that's Raven Darkholme. Let me scan her."
Oh yeah, she works. Oh, why is she blue?
That's not the same girl. Okay, it's fine. Outside, Rogue carries her mama. Damn, mama, to safety. Mystique tells Rogue that she failed Apocalypse. He's the one who wanted Kelly assassinated. She conquers Apocalypse to... Oh, sorry. She compares Apocalypse to Xavier as someone who gave her purpose. Rogue asked why Mystique would have let Apocalypse enslave her. Mystique says it was the only way to get her back. I'm like, really?
There were better
though?
ways, Rogue. Send a card.
Really, though? Yeah. I mean, she was practically right there with you. I mean, you're like, I don't know. You could have had her back anytime, but maybe you wanted her to come on her own terms. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. It does still bother me that we find out that in this, Mystique isn't even the mastermind. It all goes back to Apocalypse again.
Right. Like, she's tougher than that. She's more, she's smarter than that.
Yeah. But I understand, like, for a children's show, streamlining things, it's probably easier just to have one overarching villain controlling most of them.
Yeah.
Back in the fuchsia, Bishop comes tearing into the present. Forge tells Bishop that he can keep trying. All they have is time. There's a floating adamantium skeleton in a tube. Forge tells Bishop he must have failed because the future still sucks. It's different, but it sucks. So this is where time travel gets confusing, because if Bishop goes back to the past and changes his present, then that Forge that was there would have been changed by that past event, and he wouldn't remember that it was different to begin with.
Right. How he remember that he sent him in the first place. We will try again. Like,
And this is why on Hanging with the Hollowells, Kevin was like, I don't want time travel powers because this is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Okay. Back in the past, Professor X leads Jean and Cyclops down a hall. Walk with me down a hall that you know. Nope, I'm not singing next to normal today. Okay. He is hopeful to speak to Senator Kelly. He thinks that the senator will listen to reason now that the X-Men saved him. There is a commotion, and the trio enter the room to find it empty, except a gaping hole in the wall. Oh, Professor X is skeptical. It was Mystique's gaping hole. I mean, gang. Professor X is skeptical it was Mystique's gang since his watch has stopped, but it is now magnetized. That sounds like it's like a maybe. No, it sounds like a punk's like you've been magnetized.
It does. I think this is a really cool ending, though, because it comes back to Magneto. It makes him like the big villain of the first season.
Yeah, it's like that guy again. I thought he was over. But no, never.
So we talked about it a little, but the key differences between the comic and these episodes is in the future, it was our first glimpse of Rachel, who we find out later is Rachel Summers, who's the daughter of Jean and Cyclops. Rachel sends Kitty Pryde's consciousness into her past body, so she's in control of her past body. And in the future, it's actually Storm, Colossus, Wolverine, and Magneto, who are part of that future resistance.
Oh.
And then we already kind of said too, Bishop's not in the original Days of Future Past.
Okay. See?
Ta-da! Ta-da! So, Kevin, would you say this is extreme or X out?
Oh, yeah, extreme. This is like, it's pivotal stuff. It's important stuff. It's like part of the legacy of X-Men. It's always going to be there. So it was needed. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'd say like it's funny that time travel stuff is now kind of attributed, or not attributed, but like we think of X-Men, like even on Charmed all the time. We just did a time travel episode, Morality Bites, and it totally reminded me of Days of Future Past.
Yeah. And they go into their future bodies, like the comics.
Yeah. It's interesting that Terminator is time travel, Back to the Future, but the main thing people go to is usually X-Men. So, Kevin, who would you say is your most exceptional player?
I was torn between Wolverine and Gambit. I'm gonna say Wolverine because he was just really on it. He was there in the future. He was just not taking crap. He's like, I know what's up. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I go where I want to go. So he was always like having that skepticism and being ready to follow through with stuff. So I'm gonna give it to Wolverine this time.
Okay, touche. Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Gambit for similar reasons, because his perseverance in getting to the capital and making sure he was innocent, that's kind of what drove the story and all the action in this. So go to you, Gambit.
Yeah, good. We got the two that I wanted then.
Good. What would you say is the X factor?
What did I say? I put the showdown at Senator Kelly's office. I just thought that was so X-Men. It's all just kind of crazy, a little bit, miscommunication, a little bit of a, disorientation in some ways, which was fun. I don't know. It was very X-Men-y to me.
Yeah. And I guess I kind of already said it, but the time travel aspect, because time travel has become such a common thing in X-Men that, it probably was greatly inspired by this in the original story.
Yeah.
All right. And this week's question is, in X-Men 97, do you think the world would be ready for a Mystique Destiny on-screen romance?
Ooh.
I look forward to see what people say about this.
Yeah. I wonder if you just vote, right? You can't leave comments.
No, you can't. But you can always write us on Instagram or Twitter.
So I feel like this is a very comment-heavy question. To elaborate on. So, okay, cool.
Good. I like that. I like good thinking.
Yeah.
So next week's episode is The Final Decision, which is the last episode of season 1 of X-Men. Kevin, what do you think is going to happen in The Final Decision?
Oh, you're giving me that treatment now. I should have told you. The Final Decision. I guess they have to confront Magneto or something and decide how they're going to proceed with his people, his little brotherhood, and where do they go from here? I don't know.
That's a good guess. You sound like me on Hanging with the Hollywells,
our other
podcast where we talk about Charmed.
It's like the roles have reversed. It's weird.
It's great. So join us next week. Take a refresh on the episode, or if you don't remember, you can go off of Kevin's perfect memory of what doesn't happen in the episode.
Rude.
I am. I'm a jerk. So, yeah, you could also find us on our Charm podcast, or you can find me on Once Upon a Cult, our marvelous galaxy of Disney, which is back.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, a chopper's outside. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
It's right outside my window. I'm watching it right now. Oh, anyway, okay. You can find me at KGZ87 as my personal account, or my other podcast, Words of the Witches. Charmed
Very
books.
nice. Catch us next week for the final decision.
Oh, the final decision, monsieur. I don't know.
I can tell.